are wearing a hat. Okay. It is a big red. It looks like you're hiding a whole bunch of hair underneath there. And with the mustache, it looks like I'm going to ask you for directions to the lost crypt of Turkmenistan. That's the name. Where is it? Oh. Now what? I don't remember there being so much reflective table. Today on the show, Paul and Ben discover how to do this for the 551st time. Are you back on Reddit? Are you... No, you're what? You're off of YouTube. And YouTube noticed, and they're like, buddy, we think you have a problem. Oh, that's an interesting cut. Yeah, YouTube. So that's the frustrating part about YouTube and why I've never watched any clip from the Joe Rogan Experience, because I don't want YouTube to think that I want to see more clips from the Joe Rogan Experience. So I've been more proactive in subscribing to the channels that I want to watch, and when I go to YouTube, only having it show me the channels that I am subscribed to which I am subscribed. I don't know what Pleasure Island is. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I haven't since I was a kid. So you're so we're starting the clock. You're off of YouTube. We're gonna see how long that lasts. Yeah, I have. YouTube is starting to be a little bit more clever when it comes to subverting ad blockers. And it got to the point where on one of my accounts, I have many YouTube accounts. On one of them, it just would flat out refuse to show me videos because I had an ad blocker on. It just said this video is not available. Retry, and I couldn't retry. But then I would switch accounts, and it would work. So. So Fat Boy Winter is no longer in effect? And what are you? What is your current weight? Okay. So you're not quite 100 pounds heavier than I am, but it's close. I'm 160. Yeah. Without changing any habits or whatsoever. You've reached your ceiling. Yeah. Well, your dentist must be very happy. Oh, yeah. But wait, didn't you say you've done this, but this is something that you did in the past? Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. Yeah. It's not, I don't think it's the, like, you're hungry. I think the habitual action of reaching for something, like if it wasn't food, right? But if you like put something where you used to have a snack and would, take it, I don't know, maybe cigarettes, just start smoking, Paul. There you go. I really think that breaking the habit of like that is also breaking the physical movement of something, or the habitual movement you have when you're sitting. A mutual friend of yours and mine said once that he stopped smoking. He was able to stop smoking when he substituted something for the cigarette in his hand. And it worked surprisingly well. I think it was a straw, oddly enough. Or maybe, I want to say it was like a pixie stick. I know pixie stick is a straw, but like, it has candy in it. But like, he was able to stop smoking because he was able to have something in his hand that fulfilled that, that tactile feeling. Yeah. A wooden rod. Yes, a small towel would and then when we did the show, we used actual cigarettes. Which, this is something that we did. Oh, it not impress anybody. Right. Yeah. I thought about that recently too because I if something like an ATF type project was pitched, I wouldn't do it because like I feel like I'm too old for something like that, even though that's totally not the case. I think I'm too like cynical these days and jaded perhaps, and whereas back when ATF happened, I was like young and more ambitious and more energetic about new things. Yeah. We're gonna train for a year. Today's show brought to you by Waterloo Cherry Limeade. It's good. I'm wearing AirPods, which like seal your ear, right? So like they're noise canceling, so it doesn't let very many outside out. So when you drink something carbonated, you can really hear the bubbles. Oh yeah, you're not wearing the cans. That's squishy. Your improv class. Yeah. Mine has my name. Oh, okay. I'm glad you said ours. Yes. The case is what charges the buds. True fact. Because you want a spare case? Yeah. Gotcha. And you're not, it's not something where you can just take the one case and keep it at home, but then when you leave, put it in your bag? But that's where they live, right? I mean, I put my AirPods in when I walk to and from the theater, right? So I don't get very far away from my apartment if I don't have them. Or you could just buy another kit, another pair and have a spare set. In your bag. Yeah. Just keep one in your bag. Yeah, you just want to make sure that they're all interchangeable and that they would be able to sync to your phone. Like, yeah. I've tried in the past syncing two sets of Apple AirPods to my phone, and it didn't work. And so I don't know if that's possible because I was just trying to like do it sync it the normal way. Um, but maybe if it's possible, there might be some sort of workaround so that one phone can power, give audio to two different sets of AirPods. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Slutty. Yeah. But this one's like, I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. Uh, yeah. You heard it. What were you eating that you were so excited? Yeah. Just put it in a bowl. Did you start bleeding? I mean, that sounds like yeah. Probably still hurts too. Well, good thing you're not venomous. Yes. No. I can kind of hear him. He's getting through the Zoom filter, the Zoom dog filter. Oh, the strange noise. Yeah. So was like the wind getting between the chimney and the flashing and pushing it out? Okay. Yeah. You didn't have like you weren't using the chimney at the time. Like you don't have a fireplace. Yeah. Cool. Look at this millionaire over here with his chimneys. Santa must love you. Which one do I use? Sketch comedy. We've talked about it, I think, every week, but this is the 400 class you're taking with Betty. Yeah. Like back in the 90s? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Well, you should live here. A couple of there's Jet City does a long form show all the time. But you can't. So you will. Like owning a home. Yeah. Contemporaries with Upright Citizens Brigade. Jet City doing long form. Right. Well, I mean, you can do the. I don't mind if you moonlight with Jet City every once in a while, just as long as you know which side your bread is buttered on, Paul Goody. That feels good. Taking it to the cat. Commercials and music videos. Are you talking about you're not talking about the Old Spice commercial, are you? Oh, no. That's not the one. Right. Oh, yeah. Just in midair. Yeah. I can't remember what that commercial is for. And now you have found your perpetual motion machine. It's an Exxon commercial. We're examining every avenue for limiting our or expanding our resources. Language. Yeah. Yeah, that happens. And it takes me a few moments to realize that the VO I'm listening to is an AI VO. Normally it's when they mispronounce a word. Yeah. That was, yeah. I mean that's the danger of AI, right? Ah. Yeah. To let you know it's not actually John Oliver. But the AI learned that because at the beginning of each one of his shows, he pounds on his desk like that. Yeah. We're not? Cool. Whatever. That's my Gen X response to millennials and Gen Z complaining about us. Whatever. Yeah. Well, millennials will have their time in the sun when it's their turn to be middle-aged and complaining about things. Yeah, no, I've heard lots of stories. I haven't heard that one specifically, but I have heard a lot of stories about how the hiring standards are pretty lax. And yet they're not getting paid, and yet they're complaining because people don't like them. No, that's another big bullet point coming out about ICE is that a lot of them are still waiting for that $50,000 bonus, that signing bonus. Which is why we never applied to be a part of ICE. Just parts of them just keep falling off. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, who's... I think Ben Stiller has a new movie coming out. I feel like Ben Stiller movies kind of are along the same sort of not the same vein, but the same like uh this this they speak the same language that the Three Stooges did, right? Maybe not so slapsticky, but still in the ballpark. Farrelly Brothers, yeah. Yeah. A lot of Sucker, Abrams Sucker. Oh yeah, there's a new Top Gun starring Liam Neeson. Top Gun. Naked Gun. There is also a new Top Gun. It's been up for a couple years. I don't think Liam Neeson's in that. Naked. There's a Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Yeah, I've not seen it. I saw a clip of it on an airplane. I will admit that the clip that I saw, because another passenger on one of my flights was watching that movie, and I will admit that I chuckled a little bit when I looked over and saw what was happening. Yeah, just okay. That's your litmus test. On YouTube. Goodbye. Where they play the classics. Yeah. based on the same prompt. So like the same show that you'll see on MTV and then on HGTV and the Discovery Channel. Those are the 3 channels I can remember. Yeah. That's like the next iteration of what social media already does. Yeah. 2026. Trump says he'll decide in 10 days whether or not he wants to go to war with Iran. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We could be. The next time we speak, we could have bombed Iran. Anything to distract from the horrible, horrible news surrounding the Trump administration. Yep. Including getting elected president. Oh, yeah, for sure. And to make money. Die in office. Well, at least he has experience doing that. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Cool. Yeah. And Paul is gone. I think he turned off. He was messing with his ear pod, and then he went away. And so I think he got out of his and now you see what this looks like. For those of you still watching, it's since Paul is no longer on the Zoom call, it's just me, and now you see me twice. Hopefully he will come back. There he is. I think you touched your ear pod and something happened. Yeah, the Comedian 300, like they caught you. They've been listening. It cut you. The Committee of 300. Yeah. Right. Makes sense. Don't touch your earpods or go away again. Little Marco doesn't know how to drink water. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. If you're working to break those habits, yeah. 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 Somebody's in charge. Much better than the clown show that we have. Boy, the show notes of this show are just gonna I'm gonna get a knock on my door. Oh man, remember the whole cringe thing when the Republicans are referred to Donald Trump as daddy? Like that was a thing. I just remembered happening. Yeah. You can bounce a quarter on your bedroll. Hmm. Cool. Thank you, Daddy. Good looking out. Did he actually redo your uniform for you? Oh. Yeah. Wait, was this your drill sergeant or your den leader? Yeah. Probably. Technical instructors. Yeah. Technical. 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 You heard them coming. The sharks and the jets were coming? What is theirs? Yeah. So they could sneak up on you. Your technical instructor? From the movie Fridays. Come on, give us your best Chris Tucker. I don't know. I never really watched Fat Oliver. The only name I know is Mushmouth. Not as muscle, but percussion he provides. Yeah. I do not believe so. I don't think he's talking about that, Grammy. I'm a member of his Patreon. I could probably message him and ask him to which he was referring. I don't know. I don't think it wasn't. I don't think it was that Grammy. I don't know what he was referring to, and right now I don't remember that line. Yes. Oh yeah, that's Smurf and Smang, I think. Live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was the House of Horrors. Yeah, he might. I mean, we saw him every time he came through town. He messed with the form every single time. He still does. Yeah, it was a House of Horrors but it became the house of horrors, is how I interpret that. But when he says it, you could go either way, I think. But at one point, when he was in Seattle, he said, and John Curley from Evening Magazine said to me, yeah. Yeah. He did release the version of Janine that he played outside. Remember that when we saw him at Numos? And like the motorcycle went rumbling by like right at the very end? Yeah. Call 1-900. What are they talking about? Yeah. Well, he, even in Soul Coughing, he doesn't always play guitar on the tracks. Like he would sometimes put it down. Like when I went to go see them live at the Showbox last year, he would, he put the guitar down sometimes. So mostly the lyricist and the lead singer, yeah. Yeah. I want to say I reread the Book of Drugs a couple years ago, and I want to say that like he hasn't had any formal training. Like he didn't take classes, so he's basically came up with his own style while he was learning, like self-teaching himself how to play guitar. I want to say that's true. I don't quote me on that. If you're going to quote me on anything in this show, ukulele. And then I was banjing with the fiddle. Is that a green ukulele? I have a green ukulele. I'm looking up. Yeah, I am okay. I'm looking up because I know he released the Janine that we saw him play outside, and I'm looking up to see which album it's on, and I think it's on the Gambler EP. Yeah. Yeah. Bluish, and he's like sitting at a table, and he's on the phone. I can't remember what Sad Man, Happy Man looks like. A Persian Love Cake. God, I have so many Mike Doty albums. Still looking because I subscribed to his Patreon, so I've downloaded a bunch of his tracks. I'm just trying to remind myself what the Sad Man, Happy Man album art looked like. I could look it up. Oh, there it is. Yeah. He's like sitting in his studio and he's holding, I think, a clown nose. Yeah. I've totally forgot about that one. Anyway, I'm back. The song? You know, all art is subjective. Yeah, heard of it. I'm just waiting for the true crime coded podcast based on stories from the Bible before, to tell me what to think about Cain and Abel. Did you? Okay. The most complex animal. And it'll make you go crazy. Yeah. Sometimes at the crossroads. Sure. I'm actually gonna go see Rick and his band in a couple weeks. I am indeed with special guest Jose Bold. If only, Paul Goody, you lived here, we could go see them together. But it's on Saturday, March 7th, which also happens to be my sister's birthday. Yeah, I know of three people who listen to the show, and only one of which lives in Seattle proper. Improper. You done Seattle dirty, Paul Goody. Indeed. An hour flew by. How did that happen? And with that, I bid you a farewell. Good keep it wrong, sir, and I'll talk to you next week. Did we? How's it happening? What's that smell? We will be able to figure it out. We will be told what it is. We won't figure it out. We'll be told what it is by the AI. Like a 3-year-old that just keeps repeating the new thing it heard. Oh, happy 20th to Betty. Have I talked to you since she turned had a birthday? Yeah. That's wild. 20 years. Oh, we never talked about the thing you texted me about Delroy Lindo. On previous shows. Yeah. Right. So say it. Yeah. And sometimes people think it's real. There was an exchange on CNN. Scott Jennings was defending Elon Musk's Sieg Heil at the Republican was it the convention or was it a rally? I can't remember. I think it was just a rally. At the inauguration. Yeah, so Scott Jennings, CNN's token conservative shill, was defending it, and one of the panelists dared him to do it, and he didn't even acknowledge her. Even though we all know he heard her say that. So, anyway, and with that, all right, bye, Paul.